And I know Pete and James have the hashtag presence over
For
presence.
me, being engaged with my kid, it brings the best out of them. Like when I remember when I was younger, my dad, he was always there for me. Would take me to the park, play, play basketball, learn all these cool things that dads teach you. But he never used to go to any of my award ceremonies, graduations, things like that, and that always stuck with me. So I decided that I wanted to change that up a little bit, and I wanted to go to every recital that my son had, every soccer game. I will go. I will drop whatever I'm doing to make sure that I'm there. Because I feel that as a child, you grow up loving your dad. Your dad is like the superhero. But if the superhero's not there, who does that default to? You know, who gets that privilege of being called super dad or their superhero? So I want to make sure that I spend as much time as with my kids as possible. And business is just secondary to that.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
super important. You got to spend time with your kids. Forget about the Jordans. Spend time with your kids. That's really Pete right there. Pete is the man for presence over presence, man.
No, it's funny because you touched on, to begin, you touched on a couple of things. You touched on one is a father being in a household, working, and then coming home. Of course, he wants to come home to see his kids and his wife, but sometimes you don't want to see your kids or your wife, when you live there all the time, and you want to watch the football game. Monday Night Football's on, and so I have lived multiple lives. I've lived being in a household, and coming home and hearing my daughter talk and walk, and it was beautiful. And then when I got divorced, it was so much different because it was like I had to work and then also try to find time for her and anything I had going on, and you think about this day at the time, when I just had my kid, say I was working 5 or 6 days a week, then you got to find time for your kid, and then you're tired. Next thing you know, it's work. But if you listen to everything I just said, I never mentioned anything about having time for myself. So sacrifice is a big thing. I've been on all like all aspects of a father. Being there, being divorced, being away from them for a long time due to being young and stupid. And so what I learned is we're guilty as parents sometimes. Whether we're with the wife or as a family or we're not, we're guilty. So we try to sometimes we feel like maybe we're not doing enough or we're working too much. That's where presence over presence came from, because it was like, what, like me and my daughter, since she was young, we seen, I swear to you, maybe about, say, 500 movies in a movie theater. And I know she'll remember, and she's not going to remember 500 movies, but she'll remember that we always went to the movies. She's not going to remember the American Girls and the Barbie dolls that I bought her. She's not going to remember all those, but she's going to remember the time I spent with her. And that's what's important, is that presence.